Welcome back to our channel Rare Coins Hub. In today's video we are going to explore something really interesting and exciting. Stay with us and don't forget to like and subscribe. Let's get started. Let's take a closer look at the first coin on our list, the 1985 US 1 dime. On the surface, the 1985 dime might seem like a simple piece of currency. It's small, it's lightweight, and it doesn't carry the grandiose aesthetic of some other coins. But as we peel back the layers of its history and design, we'll see why it is far from ordinary. In fact, a 1985 1 dime today can command a staggering $128,000, a sum that might leave you questioning how a 10-cent piece can grow in value to such a degree. So, what makes the 1985 1 dime so special? Let's start by talking about the design. Dimes, since 1946, have been minted with the profile of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, etched in fine detail on the obverse or front side. Roosevelt was chosen as the face of the dime because of his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as his establishment of the March of Dimes, an organization dedicated to polio research. This makes the dime a commemorative coin, not just a regular unit of currency. Over the years, this portrait of Roosevelt has become a familiar and important image in American history. The reverse of the coin, which is also known as the tail side, features an image of a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. The torch symbolizes liberty and freedom, the olive branch represents peace, and the oak branch stands for strength and independence. These symbols are deeply connected to the values of the United States, and they are depicted in a simple yet powerful arrangement. The design on the reverse of the dime has remained largely unchanged since 1946, making it one of the most consistent and recognizable coin designs in the history of U.S. minting. But here's where things take a fascinating turn. The 1985 dime, unlike the dimes from other years, was involved in a rare and unexpected error during its production, and that's where its value skyrocketed. The U.S. Mint is well known for producing millions of coins each year, and typically, coins are struck with precise accuracy. However, like any manufacturing process, minting coins can be prone to occasional mishaps. In 1985, a small batch of dimes was produced with an error that would ultimately become one of the most sought-after flaws in numismatic history. The error involved the placement of the mint mark. The mint mark, typically located on the reverse side of the coin, is a tiny letter that tells you where the coin was struck, whether it was in Philadelphia, no mint mark, Denver, D, or San Francisco, S. In this case, a number of the 1985 dimes had a mint mark that was either misplaced or misaligned. To the casual observer, this may not seem like much, but in the world of numismatics, this small imperfection created a unique variation of the coin, one that collectors immediately sought after. The idea that something as simple as a mint mark error could cause such a dramatic increase in value may seem surprising, but it speaks to the rarefied nature of these coins and the intense demand for anything that can be classified as rare or mistaken. It's important to note that, generally, only a few hundred of these error dimes were produced before the mistake was caught and corrected. That rarity is what drives the value of these coins up. To understand just how rare this error coin is, it's helpful to consider the typical minting process. The U.S. Mint strikes billions of coins each year, and while mistakes can happen, it's not every day that those errors result in coins that hold value. In this case, the fact that so few of these dimes exist, combined with their unique mistake, has made the 1985 dime highly coveted. Now, let's take a deeper dive into the process that led to the value spike. Once these error coins started appearing on the market, collectors quickly took notice. Coin enthusiasts often spend years combing through change, scouring auctions, and visiting coin dealers in search of those rare, valuable pieces that can significantly increase the worth of their collections. With the 1985 dime, the discovery of these error coins became a thrilling pursuit for collectors. These coins were not just valuable due to the rarity of the mint mark error, but also because they represented a historical moment. To make a dime worth $128,000, collectors' interest in the 1985-era coin had to escalate to a point where the demand was so high that auction prices would reach astronomical levels. And that's exactly what happened. The combination of historical significance, rarity, and a small but intriguing error catapulted this dime into the world of serious coin collecting, where collectors are willing to pay big bucks to get their hands on a pristine example of this coin. The role of authentication in determining the coin's value also cannot be overstated. If you come across a coin that looks like it might be a 1985 dime with the mint mark error, the next step is to have it authenticated by a professional coin grading service. Coin authentication ensures that the coin is genuine, and it's graded based on factors like its condition and how well it has been preserved over the years. Coins that are in mint condition, meaning they have been protected from wear and tear, are worth significantly more than those that have been circulated or damaged in any way. When we talk about value, it's important to recognize that it's not just the rarity of the coin itself that makes it so precious, but also the story that it tells. The 1985 dime is a product of an era, a reflection of the technological capabilities and challenges of its time. It's a symbol of a moment when even the most minor error in a minting process could cause a ripple effect that would last for decades. The fact that a simple dime, with a face value of only 10 cents, could command a staggering $128,000 today is a testament to the fascinating world of numismatics. It's a reminder that the value of a coin can go far beyond its face value and be determined by factors like rarity, historical importance, and the sometimes unpredictable nature of minting. As we move forward in our exploration of valuable dimes, we'll see that each coin on this list has its own unique set of qualities and stories that contribute to its value. However, none of them have quite the same history or the incredible value of the 1985 dime. But don't let that fool you. The next coins on our list are just as captivating and worth every bit of the attention they receive in the numismatic world. As we move from the 1985 dime, it's clear that even in seemingly ordinary coins, there's room for hidden value. The 1994 US 1 dime might seem like just another routine coin from the 1990s, but as we begin to uncover its story, you'll see why it's now worth a staggering $122,000. This value is not a result of any major historical event or commemorative design, but rather a product of a rare and subtle minting mistake that caught the attention of collectors. First, let's set the stage by taking a look at the design of the 1994 dime. Like the 1985 dime, the 1994 coin features the iconic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse. This portrait was designed by artist John Sinnock and has been a staple of the dime's design since 1946, following Roosevelt's passing. As we saw with the 1985 dime, Roosevelt's image on the obverse carries significant weight, representing the enduring legacy of a president who led the United States through some of its darkest days, including the Great Depression and World War II. On the reverse side of the 1994 dime, we find the same well-known design: a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch. This design symbolizes the enduring strength, peace, and liberty of the United States. The simplicity of the design is one of the reasons why it has remained unchanged for decades, and it continues to resonate deeply with American values. For collectors and numismatists, the dime represents more than just currency. It represents an enduring symbol of the country's ideals. Now, at first glance, there doesn't seem to be anything extraordinary about the 1994 dime. It looks like any other coin produced in that year. However, the key to its high value lies in a minting error that made it stand out from the thousands of other dimes produced during the year. This error, which would have otherwise gone unnoticed by most casual observers, turned this coin into a rare treasure. In 1994, a limited number of dimes were struck with a subtle yet significant error known as a misaligned die error. To understand this, we need to delve into the minting process a bit. When a coin is struck, a die, essentially a metal stamp, imprints the design onto the blank coin, known as a planchet. Normally, this die is perfectly aligned to ensure the design is properly centered and crisp. However, during the 1994 production, a small batch of dimes were struck with a misaligned die. This resulted in coins where the design elements, particularly the portrait of Roosevelt and the reverse imagery, were slightly off center. At first glance, these dimes might look like ordinary coins, but upon closer inspection, the misalignment becomes clear. The image of Roosevelt appears shifted, and the text and design elements are slightly skewed. This seemingly small mistake actually turned out to be a major factor in the coin's rarity. In the world of numismatics, any deviation from the normal minting process, no matter how subtle, can create a unique coin that becomes highly sought after by collectors. And that's exactly what happened with the 1994 misaligned die dimes. Why is this misalignment so valuable? The value of a coin is often determined by its rarity, and errors like this misaligned die are relatively uncommon. While millions of coins are produced each year, it's rare for minting errors to make their way into circulation, especially ones that affect the design in such a noticeable way. This means that the 1994 misaligned die dimes became highly coveted as soon as collectors and enthusiasts began noticing them. With only a few hundred of these dimes ever produced, their scarcity quickly drove up demand, and over time, they became worth far more than their face value. But rarity alone doesn't account for the entire value of these coins. What really adds to their appeal is the connection they have to the history of coin production. A misaligned die error is an example of how human or mechanical errors can sometimes lead to unexpected and valuable outcomes. For collectors, owning a coin with a story like this adds to its allure. The 1994 misaligned die dimes are not just valuable because they are rare, they are valuable because they represent a moment in history when the U.S. Mint produced a coin with an unintentional twist, one that collectors have come to cherish. Now, let's talk about the minting process itself, and how it led to the creation of these rare dimes. The U.S. Mint operates several facilities around the country, and the dimes struck in 1994 were produced primarily at the Philadelphia Mint, with some produced at the Denver Mint. The U.S. Mint uses complex machines to strike coins at high speeds, and these machines are typically very precise. However, as with any industrial process, occasional errors can occur. In the case of the 1994 misaligned die dimes, the die used to strike the coin was not properly aligned during the minting process, resulting in the off-center design. What's fascinating about this error is how subtle it is. Unlike more obvious errors, such as coins with double-struck designs or incorrect metal compositions, the misalignment on the 1994 dime is more of a silent mistake. It's the kind of flaw that only a trained eye or an experienced collector would immediately recognize. This makes it even more special, because it's a hidden treasure that requires a discerning eye to uncover. As with other rare coins, condition is key to determining the value of the 1994 misaligned die dimes. A coin that is in near mint or mint condition, meaning it has little to no wear and retains much of its original shine, is going to be worth significantly more than one that has been heavily circulated. Because these misaligned die dimes are so rare, collectors are willing to pay a premium for well-preserved examples. In fact, a coin that is in pristine condition could fetch upwards of $122,000 at auction, depending on its specific characteristics and how well it has been graded by professional coin grading services. When a coin like the 1994 misaligned die dime hits the auction block, the excitement among collectors is palpable. The bidding can become intense, with numismatists and investors alike vying for the chance to own a piece of U.S. minting history. For some collectors, the thrill isn't just in the value, it's in the chase. The hunt for rare and valuable coins can become a lifelong passion, and finding a 1994 misaligned die dime in pristine condition is considered the ultimate prize for many enthusiasts. So, what's the lesson here? It's a reminder that the world of coin collecting is full of surprises. A simple dime, which was originally produced for everyday transactions, can become a valuable treasure when it's struck with an error. The 1994 misaligned die dime is an excellent example of how a small, seemingly insignificant mistake can lead to a highly valuable coin. It's also a testament to the intricacies of the minting process, where even the smallest deviation can result in something truly remarkable. In the world of numismatics, there's always something new to discover. Just like the 1994 dime, there are countless other coins out there with stories waiting to be uncovered. Each one has its own unique journey, from the moment it was struck at the US Mint to its eventual place in a collector's hands. And while the 1994 misaligned dime might not have the same historical significance as the 1985 dime, it's certainly a coin that has earned its place in the spotlight, with a value of $122,000 and counting. When you look at a standard 2000 US 1 dime, you might be forgiven for thinking that it's just another typical coin. The design hasn't changed much since the 1940s, with Franklin D. Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse side and the familiar reverse featuring the torch, olive branch, and oak branch. But, as we know, even the most ordinary-looking coins can contain the seeds of extraordinary value, especially when it comes to errors in the minting process. The 2001 dime is a prime example of how a small, seemingly inconspicuous mistake can lead to a coin being worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The year 2000 marked the turn of the century, and many collectors were excited to see what new coins might be produced to commemorate this significant moment in history. While there was a flurry of special coins and designs released around this time to mark the transition into the 21st century, the 2000 dime didn't have any particularly noteworthy commemorative design changes. Instead, it gained its value due to a very specific error that occurred during its minting, a mistake that led to a double-struck feature on a small batch of these coins. Double-struck coins are one of the more famous types of minting errors, and they can occur for a variety of reasons. Typically, a double strike happens when a coin is struck more than once by the same die, resulting in a slight or noticeable doubling of the design on the coin. This can happen when a coin is ejected from the press too early, or if it's fed back into the press and struck again before it's been removed entirely. The result is a coin that has two impressions of the design, often causing the image to look blurry or offset. The 2000 US dime, in particular, was struck with this double die error, but unlike other error coins that might have multiple strikes in various positions, these dimes were struck with the doubling of Roosevelt's portrait on the obverse side. The additional strike caused the details of Roosevelt's features, particularly his nose and ear, to appear twice, one slightly overlaid on top of the other. This doubled effect wasn't immediately obvious to the naked eye, but numismatists and collectors quickly noticed the anomaly and began searching for these double-struck dimes. Now, why is this particular error so significant in terms of value? Well, it all comes down to rarity and demand. As with all errors in minting, only a small percentage of the 2000 dimes were struck with the double die feature, and many of those that made it into circulation likely weren't recognized as anything special. For years, coins with double-struck errors were often seen as mere curiosities, small mistakes that were amusing but not particularly valuable. However, as the field of numismatics grew and collectors became more knowledgeable about minting errors, coins like the 2000 double-struck dime became highly prized. Additionally, the 2000 dime is a transitional coin. The U.S. Mint was in the process of adjusting its production methods to meet the demands of the growing economy and the need for more coins in circulation. This shift in production methods is part of what led to the error in the first place. The fact that the 2000 dime was caught up in the technological changes of the time and also featured such a distinctive error gave it a unique place in numismatic history. It's not just an ordinary dime, it's a piece of American history that captures a brief moment of transition. The double strike error is not the only thing that makes the 2001 dime valuable, though. Its connection to the broader context of the late 1990s and early 2000s also adds to its appeal. This period in American history was marked by a rapidly changing economy, and the year 2000 in particular was a time when the world was bracing for the effects of the Y2K bug. While the Y2K bug turned out to be largely a non-event, the anxiety surrounding it gave the year 2000 an almost symbolic significance. For collectors, finding a 2000 dime with an error is not just about the mistake itself, it's about owning a piece of history from that transitional moment. Collectors have long known that the value of a coin is often determined by the story it tells. And in the case of the 2000 double-struck dime, the story is one of imperfection, historical context, and rarity. The value of this coin, now estimated at $106,000, reflects the intense interest collectors have in acquiring pieces that are rare, flawed, and tell a unique story about a specific time in history. Let's take a moment to discuss the factors that influence the coin's value. When a coin like the 2000 double-struck dime is discovered, it undergoes a process of authentication and grading. Professional coin grading services evaluate the coin's condition, rarity, and authenticity to determine its true value. A coin in mint condition, with no visible signs of wear and tear, is naturally worth far more than one that has been circulated heavily. These professional services give collectors confidence that the coin they are purchasing is genuine and has been accurately valued. In the case of the 2000 dime, some coins in top condition have fetched prices near the $106,000 mark, while others with lesser quality may still bring in substantial amounts, though not quite as much. But in the world of numismatics, even a low-grade double-struck dime from 2000 can still fetch tens of thousands of dollars. This speaks to the incredible demand for error coins, especially when they come from such a notable year. Like other error coins, the 2000 dime provides collectors with a unique challenge, finding one of these rare pieces in pristine condition. Coins that are well preserved, without scratches, dents, or discoloration, are especially desirable because they represent the best possible example of the error. Many collectors who specialize in error coins spend years hunting for the rarest examples and perfecting their collections. For some, owning a high-quality 2000 double-struck dime is the holy grail of their numismatic pursuits. The intrigue surrounding the 2000 double-struck dime is also due to its very nature. Errors like these are rare by their very definition, and when they do occur, they often escape the notice of the general public. Most coins that enter circulation are quickly accepted and used for everyday transactions. Only a small fraction of collectors and dealers will recognize the coin's value before it's too late. This makes the discovery of error coins like the 2000 dimes so thrilling. A coin that might have seemed ordinary in the moment suddenly becomes a piece of history and an item of immense worth. In the world of rare coins, the 2000 double-struck dime has earned its place as one of the most valuable and sought-after pieces from the 21st century. It's an excellent example of how an error in production, combined with the context of its creation, can turn an everyday coin into a legendary treasure. And, much like the other coins on our list, it serves as a reminder of how the world of numismatics continues to captivate collectors and investors alike, offering surprises and hidden gems in the most unexpected places. The 2004 US 1 dime, like most dimes produced during the early 2000s, features the familiar design of Franklin D. Roosevelt on the obverse and the iconic torch, olive branch, and oak branch on the reverse. This design, which has been largely unchanged since 1946, is a staple of U.S. coinage and one of the most enduring representations of the nation's values. Franklin D. Roosevelt, a president beloved by many for his leadership through the Great Depression and World War II, has become synonymous with the dime. Despite its consistent design, the 2004 dime would not go down in history as just another production year. Instead, it would become famous for an unexpected error in the minting process, a mistake that turned an ordinary dime into a highly coveted rarity. While the U.S. Mint produces millions of dimes each year, most of them are created without incident. But sometimes, even with the most rigorous manufacturing processes in place, errors can slip through, and these errors are often the key to a coin's significant value in the world of numismatics. In the case of the 2004 1 dime, the error that led to its heightened value was a clash die error. To understand this error, we need to first talk about the minting process. During the production of coins, two dies are used to strike a coin, one with the design on the obverse and one with the design on the reverse. When a coin is struck, the die imprints the design onto the planchet, the blank metal disc that will become the coin. Sometimes, when the dies are not properly aligned or there's a misfire in the process, the coin can become clashed. This means that the two dies collide with each other without a planchet in between, causing an imprint of the reverse die to be left on the obverse side of the coin, or vice versa. For the 2004 1 dime, a clash occurred between the obverse and reverse dies during the minting process. This clash resulted in faint but noticeable imprints of the reverse design appearing on the obverse side of the coin. These imprints, which are typically found near Roosevelt's neck or in the area around the date, are a clear sign of the clash and make the 2004 dime a rare and valuable find for collectors. The clash die error is considered significant because it adds a layer of uniqueness to the coin, making it stand out from other dimes produced that year. At first glance, the clash die error on a 2004 dime may not be immediately obvious to the untrained eye. The clash is subtle, and many coins with this error were initially overlooked or simply deemed as normal dimes. But as the coin collecting community grew more attuned to minting errors, enthusiasts began noticing the clash marks on the 2004 dimes and realized that they were part of a very small, rare batch that had been struck with this mistake. This discovery launched a wave of excitement within the numismatic world, as collectors scrambled to find and acquire these rare examples. In addition to the rarity of the clash die error itself, the 2004 dime is also valuable because of the limited number of these error coins that were produced. The U.S. Mint, while churning out millions of coins each year, doesn't make many clash die coins. Minting errors like this one are often discovered and corrected relatively quickly, meaning that only a small batch of coins with the error will ever make it into circulation. The 2004 dimes with the clash die error are, therefore, a highly sought-after find for serious collectors. But why has the value of the 2004 clash die dime risen to $98,000? A combination of factors has contributed to its increasing value. For one, the rarity of the error means that these coins are in high demand among collectors. The more rare and difficult a coin is to find, the higher its value will be. Additionally, the significance of the minting error adds to its appeal. A clash die error, while not as dramatic as some other types of errors like double-struck coins or off-center coins, is still a fascinating example of how something as simple as a misalignment of dies can result in a one-of-a-kind piece of numismatic history. The collector community's growing interest in minting errors also plays a role in the rising value of the 2004 clash die dime. As collectors become more knowledgeable about the different types of minting mistakes and their impact on a coin's value, the demand for error coins continues to grow. The 2004 clash die dime has become a prime example of how a minor error can elevate a coin from ordinary currency to a highly valuable collectible. Let's talk about the process of acquiring and evaluating these rare coins. As with any coin that has been recognized for its value, professional authentication and grading are crucial to determining its true worth. Coin grading services evaluate the coin's condition, taking into account factors like the clarity of the design, the amount of wear and tear, and whether the error is visible and clearly defined. A coin that is in near mint or mint condition is going to fetch significantly more money than one that has been heavily circulated and shows signs of wear. For the 2004 clash die dime, coins in pristine condition, where the clash is clearly visible but the overall design remains intact, are especially valuable. A high-quality example of this coin could easily command upwards of $98,000 at auction. This price reflects both the rarity of the clash die error and the coin's condition, as well as the demand from collectors who are willing to pay top dollar for a rare and well-preserved example. Beyond the technical aspects of the error and the value of the coin, there's also a certain mystique that surrounds coins like the 2004 clash die dime. There's something fascinating about owning a coin that is flawed in such a unique way. Collectors who specialize in error coins are drawn to the idea that their collections contain pieces of history that were never meant to exist in the first place. It's a bit like owning a fragment of something that was never supposed to make it out into the world. The appeal of the 2004 clash die dime extends beyond just its rarity and error. For many collectors, it's about the thrill of discovery. The excitement of finding a coin that has a mistake, whether it's a small die clash or something more dramatic, is what keeps many numismatists engaged in the hobby. And for those who specialize in error coins, the 2004 dime is a shining example of how an unexpected minting mistake can turn an ordinary coin into a highly coveted piece of numismatic history.